Hey everybody, Wayland here. I am going to try a cook on my new modified smoker. Well, it's an old smoker. I newly modified it by taking my Pit Boss classic hopper off of my Pit Boss and mounting it to Eileen, my kind of Frankenstein offset that I've built. You may have seen other videos where I had taken my old country barbecue Wrangler and added a 52-inch cook chamber to the end of it, cutting off the smokestack and then welding the smokestack back on the end. And I had modified the smokestack, but I had cut that back off and I'm just using a stovepipe extension. You'll see, Eileen has put in a lot of work for me over the last year. Done real good, but I typically run meats on a pellet cooker for a few hours, most time like 9 hours, and then I'll come and I'll start up my offset and move the meats over to the offset. Well, I'm gonna put a pork butt on here. It's about 11:30 a.m. I'm gonna work for another 4 or 5 hours and come home and see how this pork butt is, how it's been running on the pellet hopper that is mounted to my smoker. I'm gonna get out there. I'm getting the pork butt rubbed right now. I'm gonna get out there and get it onto the smoker once it gets kind of warmed up, and then I'll show you the smoker and the mods that I did. Pork butt here. I've got rub on one side. I used mustard as a binder, and I've got a special rub I do. It's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna flip it over here in a minute, rub the other side so it looks the same way, and then I'll get it out on the smoker. All right, so here is Eileen. We had a little rain. I know I gotta empty that bucket. It's just kind of water. But I took an old country barbecue and I made it longer. So this is the smoker I use regularly. I've got videos where I'd kind of done that. And typically I would run meats on the vertical smoker, and then when I get home I'd take the meats off the vertical smoker and start a fire and put them on over here. I get kind of tired of that, and this vertical smoker has really just been a pain in the butt. Something more expensive that maybe would do a better job, but I thought I'd really like to not have to move the meats around, get them inside this cook chamber, run the pellets on it, and then come home and start a fire in here in the firebox. So right now I got everything all closed off. There's that pellet hopper. I just used materials I had lying around. I will say Trinity smokers gave me this idea. I would have just bought their resources to do it, but it is what it is. I don't have a lot of my own resources, so it's quite the crazy job I did. But I mounted that meat, so I mounted that sleeve there, and then slid the hopper in and bolted it down. I got a mess out here, but that's the old classic Pit Boss that I took the hopper off of, and it slid right into the sleeve I made, and I just kind of bolted it right back onto there. Drilled a couple holes for my meter, and as you can see right now, I set it to 300, and so right about here we're at 275 at this point of the cook chamber. So right here I'm getting up to 280, and I have the probe just there mounted. Can't really, it's clean, hot smoke coming out right now. Down here though, we're at 225. I found when I run it at 300, I get about 250 down here at the end, so I should be close to between 250 300 from across to where the heat is. I'm gonna get this pork butt, get it out here and get it on there. I won't open it up yet, but I will open it up here in a little bit to show you what I got going on. I did get the pork butt on. So here's I even added upper grate to this since the last time. I've been busy, haven't been doing a lot of videos, but this is my Wrangler, old country Wrangler barbecue modification originally. And so the pork butt's on over here. I've got the hopper burning fire over there. Actually, I think I might take that grate out so I don't ruin it too badly. So the way I did mount it, I wish I'd have done a better job at getting that hopper a little lower in this particular cook chamber, but I am a major amateur, so but I do have, I'm going to fill that with water, use a water pot, help keep some moisture in there. Yeah, I'm excited to see how well this is going to work, if it'll hold temps for me for the next 5 hours. If I come home and I have a good pork butt or a ruined one. So anyways, man, if this works, I'll be excited because I won't have to move meats around. I will run this for 5 hours. Better close it, keep everything hot. Realize I might not be able to take out the grate because I have that water pan on it, so we'll see. Might have to do another mod just to hold a water pan up. Once I get home, I'll just start a fire over here and do some smoke too. Maybe even keep the pellet hopper running. I'm not sure. Maybe help me keep temps a little bit more steadily while I add wood, real wood smoke to my food. I've just found that pellet cookers can't do that very well. Of course, where the probe is, the pellet hopper is at 305, so it's satisfied, and of course as it drops below 300, it ought to run some more pellets and keep it up to temp. So let's see, we're at we're at a little over 200. Anyways, I'm gonna have to see, and I might need to do some barbecue gasket and some seal. Old Wrangler, when I first got it, needed gasket around the doors, and that stuff's all worn out. So may need to just seal it up good so I can retain some heats, some temps, I mean. But I topped off the pellets. The other thing I'm concerned about is not having enough pellets that this thing would run through a lot. Maybe I do need to seal it up so it holds temps a little better. So we'll see. All right, after work, we're at 411. So my wife checked on the pellets for me. They were not too far diminished. She sent me a pic, so we didn't need to load any more pellets in there till I got home. Anyways, we're gonna check it right now. I haven't looked at anything. I just got here, so let's see. Okay, so it says 285, so it's starting. I can hear it starting to feed some pellets. Let's see. Okay, start to sump down a bit. I don't know, I'm a little bit more than half of the hopper, I believe. It's 21 pounds. I did think about doing a hopper extension, so we'll see. 290 there. And this thing's still at 200. So, you know, let's see what this pork butt looks like. Looks okay. Looks about like it would on a pellet cooker at 200 degrees for sure. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna change, but I'm gonna start a real wood fire down on this end. Oh, by the way, after I stopped recording earlier, I decided I wanted to move that grate. So I went ahead and balanced that piece of steel that used to be my old deflector plate on that hopper, and I put the water pot there. It's got a little water in it still, so anyways, I'll close it, go ahead and start a fire and smoke this pork butt. Alright. Getting the fire going, kind of smoldering. I need to kind of rekindle that. Paper burn up real quick, but anyways. First downside with having it over there, it's blowing the smoke back out this way. So I'm gonna have to shut the hopper off if I want to continue to burn real wood fire in here. So yeah. Now I had seen the, like I said, Trinity smokers and their modification to an old country barbecue. They're the parts that you can order to modify your old country. They do mount the hopper down here. The reason why I chose not to do that is because I was really concerned with if I burn real wood over it, get a lot of ash and stuff down in the hopper and cause the hopper to have some burn back and all that. That's why I chose to do it in my cook chamber, in the first part of the cook chamber. So had I mounted it down here, I probably might have had a better response to the fan of the hopper blowing air into the firebox and putting it out back through the smokestack. So I see why putting in the firebox would have been a good idea. Anyways, okay, I didn't really want to turn the hopper off, but I'm gonna see if I can't mitigate this somehow, and we'll be back. Okay, so I shut the hopper off. It's cooling down, the fan's still rolling. I tried to mitigate it with this other fan that I had bought to blow into the smoker firebox, but as you can see, it's still kind of coming out that little opening, so didn't entirely, and I didn't know if I want that much convection, so I turned that off. As soon as that fan's done running, the smoke should stop coming out of this hole. We'll see. All right. Excuse me. All right, so yeah, no smoke coming out this end. As soon as the fan stops blowing from the hopper, got a good fire going. Actually, I got it a little bit hot there for a second, but anyways, let's see. Yeah, not bad. We're running about 269, just about 225-ish there, what have you. Medium smoke for now. Let's see. Yeah. Got a little bit of smoldering logs. We'll get that going. We'll get it stirred up and keep a clean fire, wood fire going to get some smoke onto this pork butt. Oh, it's already gained some traction on color. So anyways. Our last beautiful Oklahoma night. I mean, it went from a little bit cold back up to warm today. It's going back down to freezing probably overnight. It's getting dark, so that's always kind of not fun when it comes to just recording some of these videos, but I want to come check on this pork butt. We're at 6, so we've been running some smoke for, you know, an hour and a half or so. I try to keep it 275-ish. You know, so anyways, it's been working. I mean, the pellet hopper's off now, so the good thing was that ran and kept me in the 250 range for, you know, 4+ hours. So I'm excited about that. And the pellet hopper wasn't depleted too greatly, even though we were, you know, in the moderately low temps today. So of course, if the temps are low, the pellet hopper's gonna have to work harder. So anyways, I'm just seeing how this goes for the first time. Wanted to show you guys kind of what I was excited about wanting to do. But let's look at that pork butt. Looks like some logs on there, but let's see. Ooh, nice color. Got the fat splitting, so looking good. Maybe I'll spin it around, spritz it a little bit, and then I'm gonna run smoke on it until it's a bit darker. I always use my Thermal Pro to let me know when temps get low. Had it drop down to that temperature, I would have come out and put some wood on the fire. So I really love that thing for this. It actually connects to my phone and alerts me as long as I'm, you know, at the house. So, oh, it looks good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna spin it and maybe spritz it and toss some logs on the fire. All right, temps got down, came out to put some logs on. Check the color here. Like I said, I had moved it around, so got a light on, help me out. Looking pretty good. I'm always looking for it to get a bit darker, so put a few logs on and continue to roll some smoke on it. All right, delicious. So it's even pouring down rain out there, so good timing. I love the color on that. I did use mesquite. Actually, I want to do some more videos about that. I've just been busy, so if you're watching this, thank you. But anyways, I'm gonna take some butter now, put it on top of here with brown sugar and a little bit more of that seasoning I used. And I'm gonna put this in the oven until it gets up to temperature and tenderness. It smells so good. I got that nice fat tear. A great color. It smells great. So anyways, using that mesquite, I think it helped to be able to put a good color on this thing in just the 5 hours that I rolled real wood smoke over it. So anyways, the pellet hopper seemed to work for a little while, and you know, the whole 5 hours I needed it to roll smoke on this, or get it, you know, cooking until I could come home and really burn some wood on it. So anyways, we'll finish it up in the oven, fully wrapped. I'll wrap it in foil after putting butter, brown sugar, and some seasoning on it. And then we will pull it apart tomorrow after it rests overnight. It just falls apart, squeezed between my fingers. So I knew it would. My process has been working many times over. I love this dark, rich color. And of course, this is not mine to eat, even though I'm home at lunch pulling it so that I can have it all prepared for just a little bit later. This is for a customer. I've made pork butt this way many times. I love that seasoning that I use. You can use whatever you like. The Old Country, no, not Old Country, I'm sorry, the Head Country, I think it is, has a nice rub that you can usually get at Sam's Club that I really like. It's very similar. It's easy to use. Definitely add your butter, your brown sugar, and a little bit more of your seasoning so that you can get this wonderful juice made. I mean, the tray has plenty of juice down in there. As soon as all this pork is pulled into, as far as I like it, I make sure that it gets evenly distributed within those juices. So again, to recap, in this video I wanted to test out my new hybrid. I took my offset smoker, cut a hole in the cook chamber closer to the firebox, and welded on a kind of a sleeve, square tube, mounting kind of bracket that my hopper would slide into. I ended up robbing my old Pit Boss Classic pellet smoker of its hopper, and I bolted that hopper onto my offset smoker. I got that hopper going, set it at 300 degrees, and it kept, over by where I had my meats, it kept the cook chamber at about 250 degrees. I let that run for 4.5, 5 hours on pellets. And
You saw that the color was nice. It was red. It was good looking. It was cooking. And I could have finished that way, but I prefer the taste of real wood fire and smoke. So I took some mesquite wood splits, started a fire in that same cooker, and just began to smoke the meat with real wood fire until it got to that nice dark color you just saw, that we saw throughout the finish process. Once I get it to the color I like, and I believe I have it to the flavor profile, and I want to go ahead and wrap it so I can get the fat in here to go ahead and melt down and be used. You can see I am actually mixing this stuff in with each other as I pull it apart to get that fat and that flavor distributed evenly. So I wrapped it in foil, I put it in this tray and put foil over it and put a probe in it and put it in my oven at 275 degrees until that probe reached internal of the pork butt of 205. Around 205 is when you'll start to see the pork butt being extremely tender. You saw I was able to probe it very easily in all places around the pork butt. Then you can rest your pork butt for just a little bit. You could just do like an hour or so. Let it till it gets cool to touch too. I would say 150 degrees is good. I keep them at 150 degrees in my warmer overnight because I would never be able to have this pork butt ready between working a regular job. I would never be able to have this pork butt ready with wood fire at 4:30 in the evening. So I put this in my commercial warmer, kept it at 150 degrees overnight. I would say this finished at just after midnight. So I just took it out and stuck it in the warmer at about midnight, and it sat in the warmer to now we're about noon. So it's been in the warmer for 12 hours, just resting in those juices also. Now I've pulled it all apart, as juicy as can be, and ready to be served. So I was pretty well pleased with that. Pretty excited. I actually wanted to do something similar on the 250 gallon propane tank smoker that I'm working on the trailer. I like doing barbecue as a second part-time job for now. I'd love for it to really blow up for me and become, my primary source of income, and to do really good in this field and to excel and have the best barbecue in the area. But for now, I don't have all day to spend throwing logs on a pit to prepare meats on those days, in those evenings and things that I actually do work. So I've been relying on a pellet cooker to help me get the meat going and started for these long cooks like brisket, and then moving it over to the wood fire smoker. Well, today, or for this video, it took a couple days, I got to do it all on one cooker. I got to run the cooker in automatic mode, kind of autopilot, and then came home and took over myself and used real wood fire to finish the cook-off to get that real good smoky wood fire taste. And I'm even trying mesquite. Can't wait to do another video on a brisket, but the thing about using pecan or oak before was I really only had a few hours to put that smoke taste on there, because I would run it on a pellet cooker for 9 hours and finish it in another 5 to 7 hours. And sometimes it took some time to get the color I wanted. Today, or with this pork butt, I was really able to get that thing a nice color within just about 4.5 to 5 more hours. I was pretty well pleased. I liked cooking on the mesquite, and I'm going to assume it tasted good. I did one other brisket cook with mesquite recently that I took with me to work and shared, and people thought it was the one of the best that I had made. And I told him I used mesquite, and that was a little bit of the difference. So anyways, I'm excited to try this again on a full brisket cook, so stay tuned for that. I do want to say I give credit to Trinity Smokers. You can find that in, I'll see if I can post a link, or I'll try to post a link. It was his idea. He's got a modification and a recommendation. You can use Smoke Daddy's pellet hopper. I just happen to have a pellet hopper on hand. I had some material on hand, and I can weld barely. This weld job was pretty rough, but I didn't need to buy that, even though I was really tempted, because it would have been all ready to go. I would just had to make a quick cut, and I would have my offset smoker running as a pellet cooker / smoker. His idea to use the firebox instead of the cook chamber may have been the way I wanted to go if I wanted to be able to keep temps and help burn that wood with my pellet smoker or pellet hopper. So you might prefer Trinity Smoker's way over putting it in the cook chamber. I just really wanted to be able to keep the heat in the cook chamber mostly. I didn't want it to have to go from the firebox to the cook chamber, and I also didn't want to burn wood down into my hopper and cause some burn back and those kind of things. So I chose to put it into my cook chamber. Maybe I'll put the next one in my firebox, and maybe put a divider so I can burn fire on one side and the hopper on the other, just to ensure that I don't burn the hopper up. I don't know, but I am pretty comfortable in potentially moving forward and installing pellet hoppers on my offset stick burners. So anyways, and maybe this one will be for sale, because I do want to do it to my big smoker out in the garage. So if you're interested, hit me up. Anyways, thanks for watching. Till next time, God bless you.